I just opened TikTok for fun. Only 5 minutes.
Oh my
But somehow,
God!
time started spinning like a fan behind me. I looked up.
am coming
Wait,
for
it's
you.
already dark, huh? I thought it was just 5 minutes ago. I just opened the book. Not even 3 minutes. My eyelids started to drop, and my brain was already screaming in protest. I closed the book, and right then, guilt quietly showed up. No yelling, just a gentle tap on my shoulder. And then it finally clicked. It's not that I'm lazy, it's that my brain has been trained the wrong way. I looked at my streak. The chain was broken. Everything dropped back to 0, and somehow it hurt more than losing a game. I started again, just a small check mark. Nothing special yet. But somewhere, a tiny flame was just lit. Day by day, another check mark. The streak kept growing, and somehow I started to feel proud. It was late at night. I was exhausted, but I still opened the book. Not because I really wanted to study, but because I couldn't let the streak break. And at some point, I stopped forcing myself. Studying felt natural, because by then, I was the streak keeper. My phone suddenly lit up. A notification popped in. I flinched just a little, like when someone texts out of nowhere. I tilted my head and looked at the screen. Somehow, it made me smile, like the feeling of someone waiting for me. The notification popped up, not serious at all. It made me laugh, and somehow, my hand put the phone down. I opened the book. My phone rested quietly beside me. No more notifications, but somehow, I wasn't studying alone. It was 3 a.m. My eyes were red. The energy bar was almost empty, but I kept going, because in games, you never quit halfway. I was playing a game, and suddenly, the screen changed. The battle disappeared. In its place, a quest appeared. That's when I realized, learning can be played like a game too. I just completed a chapter. Rewards popped up on the screen. Stars, gifts, and XP. I raised my hands in celebration. That's when it hit me. Finishing a lesson feels just like winning a game. The XP bar filled up. Light burst around me. I stood taller, more confident. Not because I studied more, but because I leveled up. I snapped a completed photo, posted it to the group, and instantly, claps, fire, and crowns popped up everywhere. I felt a little shy, but honestly, really happy, because this time, finishing my study felt like being the MVP. I was studying alone. The space around me felt empty. A small desk sat in the middle of the room. Everything was so quiet. It was just me and the book. My phone suddenly lit up. A group chat appeared. A new notification popped in. I flinched just a little and realized I wasn't studying alone anymore. A notification popped up. Just a couple of teasing emojis. I looked at the screen, scratched my head, and smiled awkwardly. Then my hand pulled the book a little closer. I kept studying, but this time I wasn't alone. Teammates were right behind me. The shared progress bar kept moving up, and I realized studying feels like playing a cop game. I stood more firmly, not because I became better alone, but because behind me there were many people walking together. With a community, quitting becomes much harder. The streak was there. Notifications were there. Even the game was there. But I still stood still, looking at the desk, not really feeling like starting yet. I thought about the future, but it felt blurry. Just a bunch of question marks. My brain didn't know what to do, and my eyes just wanted to close. Things started to become clear. No more vague future. I could see clear goals behind me. Getting into my dream school, a better job, and my family. The light grew warmer, and I finally knew why I study. I stood face to face with myself, my old, tired version. No anger, no blame. I just clenched my fist and chose not to quit. No reminders, no pressure. I sat down at the desk on my own. No rush, no forcing, just the moment I knew it was time, because I knew why I was studying. I held my phone in my hand. My finger kept scrolling, one thing after another, not really watching anything, not feeling better, just not knowing when to stop. The clock spun faster than I expected. Minutes flew by. I looked back at my phone in shock. It felt like just a moment ago, but somehow the time was already gone. A time limit appeared on the screen. No more scrolling. I felt slightly annoyed, but I didn't fight it. I just exhaled and accepted the stop. I wrote a few lines down. 3 simple things. Nothing big, just enough to remind me that today still had good moments. My mind softened, my attention reset. Gently, I stared at the screen. Someone else was doing better. Shiny achievements everywhere. A slight discomfort grew inside me. A small cloud of envy rose. Quiet, but real. I paused for a moment. Instead of asking, "What am I bad at?" I switched to a different question. What can I learn from them? I stopped looking at them. I looked at my notebook instead, writing down what they do well. Knowledge, time management, how they think. Envy didn't disappear. It turned into a map I could follow. I went back to studying. I stopped looking at others. I focused only on my own work. The progress bar moved up, little by little. Nothing flashy, just real progress. And this time, the dopamine came from my effort. The feeling of envy didn't disappear, but it no longer bothered me. I smiled softly and turned that energy into action. I looked at the calendar. 30 days were crossed out. Only 15 minutes remained. I let out a small sigh of relief. This feels doable. I placed my phone face down. The screen went dark. No vibration, no light. I looked outside. The world was still there, quiet. I walked slowly, hands in my pockets. No rush, no destination. Just letting my body move and my mind relax a little. I stopped moving, gently closed my eyes. Slow inhale, long exhale. No thoughts, just letting the breath do its job. I put on my headphones, not to study, not to work, just to listen. My head gently moved with the rhythm. My mind rested, without doing anything. I didn't do anything else. I just rested for a bit. The battery in my head slowly filled up. From red to green, I smiled. My mind recharged gently. I came back to my desk. The book was already open. No pressure, no reminders. My eyes felt natural, and somehow, studying felt easier again. I held my phone, scrolling from one post to another. Everyone seemed to be doing something, and I was just watching. My eyes were wide open, but my mind felt empty. Someone else's post was glowing. It looked impressive. I felt smaller in the frame. My mind automatically compared us. I hadn't even tried, yet I already felt behind. My fingers stopped mid-scroll. Everything froze. I frowned for the first time in a while. I asked myself what I was really doing. I stopped watching. I opened something of my own. Not a perfect piece, not impressive, just a small note, a short post, or a very simple video. This time, I was creating. I tapped the button gently. It didn't need to be perfect. It just needed to be posted. My heart skipped a beat. Something small was sent out, and I stepped out of the spectator role. I wasn't just watching anymore. I started to create. I sat a little straighter. My eyes became clearer. No need for attention. Just knowing that I was creating. In front of me was a blank frame. No numbers, no likes. Just a small glowing dot. It quietly said, "I'm here." I stared at the screen. Hearts flying. Likes flying. Comments everywhere. Notifications wouldn't stop. Everything felt loud. And I felt tired. I held a small note. There was only one sentence on it. I pinned it right in front of me. Not to show off. Not for anyone else to see. Just to remind myself every day. I looked at the note, whispered it to myself. No drama, no performance, just repeating it. So my brain remembers. I looked at the scale in front of me. On one side were likes, on the other was meaning. The balance slowly tilted. I nodded. Now I know what truly matters. I turned my phone face down. Notifications went silent. The noise faded away. The space became calm. I wasn't escaping the world. I just stopped letting it control me. I walked forward. No rush, no pressure, just my own rhythm. No need to follow any feed. I move at my own pace. I stood in front of my desk. No need to prove anything. No need for validation. I chose how I want to live. My value is not in likes, but in living a life true to myself. Streaks, notifications, goals, community, emotions, they spin around my head every day. My brain is already used to this loop. Suddenly, everything changed direction. The same familiar tools, but they were no longer pulling me away. They turned back to feed my mind. I paused in surprise and realized, this can work the other way too. 3 hours passed. I was still lying there. My phone was still glowing. My body felt tired. My chest felt empty. Nothing stayed inside. 3 hours passed again, but this time I was studying. The book lay open in front of me. My body felt tired, but inside it was different. Something was growing. I nodded. Yeah, that makes sense. But then I stopped. Not just watching, not just scrolling. My hands started to move. It was time to act. I stopped overthinking. I opened the book, checked the first box, set a reminder, wrote down a goal, just a small action, but a real one. I was studying, and suddenly, my brain lit up. Not because of likes, not because of notifications. I looked surprised, then I smiled. Turns out, studying creates dopamine too. I looked straight ahead. No slogans. No hype, just a small choice, repeated every day, from the phone to the book. Same brain. This time, I'm in control.